So this is the first time using Xbox Series X with the Hori controller converted to work with the Xbox, because the Hori is designed for Switch. And this is the first time I've tried eye gaze in a game like Red Dead Redemption. And if I'm slow, it's because I'm trying to think of what I have to go through. And I've accidentally just started Premiere Pro, so I will now close that. So I've got to make Red Dead Redemption full screen, OBS full screen. And start my Hori software. So here's the Hori software, and if I click play, I play my configuration that I've made. Unfortunately, the toolbar stayed on the bottom. I don't know why that is. There it's on. So now, I'll pause it and start the game. These are my buttons, A, B, X and Y. A, so I can't actually, my little grid box is covering it over. I have to have this little grid box in the corner. So I press A. I have to have the little grid box in the corner because the grid 3, sorry about the volume, the grid 3 is controlling the arrow. Now, I've not set up the eye gaze control for full control yet, so I'm just going to activate eye gaze when it comes to playing. So I start the game with A. I can use either the button on here or my buttons, which I plugged in. Xbox Series X has got some stunning graphics, and it's very fast as well. If you played Red Dead Redemption on an older Xbox, what did they call them? Xbox One? Xbox One S. It could take a while to get started, whereas with this new one, it flies. You don't have to sit through all these pictures for very long. Now, the user I'm trying this out for, he's a joystick user, but he can't use 2 joysticks. And one of the things about this game is if I use the joystick to control the character, I can walk around quite nicely. But what he can't do, because he can't use 2 joysticks, he can't look around. So if the character turns around to face, he needs a second joystick. So I've enabled the second joystick using the screen control. It worked. So if I look to the right, he looks around. If I look to the left, it looks around. So I can walk. He will be able to use his joystick to walk around and be able to look left and look right. And I've not set up and down yet, but I will do that. I'll do that now, actually. That is excellent. So, Control-Shift-Q to come out of it. Edit the profile. So these two, I don't know if you can see it, but there's 2 preset buttons. I'm going to change what they do by double clicking on them. That's a button hold, a down button hold. If I change it to a joystick, it's the right joystick I'm using, and I'm changing it to I'm going to change it to up, because I've got my controls inverse. When I pull down, I think it looks up, And in appearance, change the label to look down. And then this one, change it to joystick, right joystick, and this one looking is down, but we'll say look up. I'm confusing myself. I do get confused with this. look up. Let's double check that. Yeah, okay. Let's see how that works. So I'll make these boxes a bit bigger. Just move that so it's not intruding on. I'm moving the X and the Y boxes so they're not intruding on the left and look right. And I resume play. Oh look, look at this. It shows me the continuing like a foreign language. It's really confusing. I imagine that's continue. That's yes. That's no. And that's cancel. I don't know. Would you like to finish editing GTA 5? This is a GTA 5 config. I suppose yes. That must be yes. It's one of the clunky natures of this type of software. I'll just reposition my camera. So resume play. Now I'm hoping that when I look up, look down. Oh, look left, look right. And one of the beauties of this game is that whichever direction you push the joystick, the character will travel. So let's get on the horse. I've got my buttons here, A, B, X and Y, so I can press Y to get on the horse. And I can also have the Y button here. If I look at the Y button on the screen, he gets off the horse. These, I've not coloured them, but they could be coloured or indeed made invisible. Anyway, get back on the horse with the Y button. Oh, this is fantastic. He's going to love this. Now, to go faster, you press the A button, I think. But I've also configured it up the top so he can... Yeah. Oh, that's the X button. Yeah. That's jump. But you see, as I steer the horse, if I look in the centre, I can't control, it doesn't control the camera, but if I look to the left with him, the camera moves around.
Hey, I'll keep moving if I was you.
Yeah, we're moving.
What did I tell you?
Not very friendly people. This is a fantastic game for exploration. Although, I think it is rated 18, so yeah, be careful who you present it to. That's outstanding. Let's pause that control. Pause the game with... How do you pause the game? You press the home button. There we go. That's excellent. That configuration will work for Grand Theft Auto as well. But this particular user is very keen to play Harry Potter. And again, he can control his one joystick to move the Harry Potter game around, the character around. It's called Hogwarts, not Harry Potter. He moves the character around, but he can't control the camera. And it's very important to be able to control the camera. And this, with eye gaze enabled, will give him that extra control. It's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to using it with this chap next week. He'll be very excited. But there'll be a lot of work needed in configuring the page and laying it out. He's a button user, he's a joystick user, but I'm sure he'll favour the occasional eye gaze button as well. I'll keep you posted on how we get on. Just a quick PS. The Flex Controller expansion app has developed some sort of error. I don't know what the error is. I just paused it. I suppose I can click continue. I don't know what that means, but when those sorts of things pop on the screen, if you're a user being as independent as possible, that can scupper you. In fact, controlling the Hori controller through eye gaze could be difficult. You'd need to set up a whole computer control method to be able to interact with the gameplay and then switch back to this small control box that I made. I tailored that just so it doesn't take up much room on the screen, because it's very necessary to be able to move the pointer on the screen. I've not been able to get it to do that in the Toby configuration for the TD control software. Can't get it. Oh, look, it's popped up again. Can't get it to move the arrow, so I have to use Grid 3 for that. I've tried OptiKey, which is free software, but it's far too clunky. The arrow doesn't move very smoothly. But I'm talking very technical there, and it needs a dozen videos to explain all this.